So usually with Targe, the on guard is either squared or left foot forward most of the time. Yeah. So I'm just gonna get you to go into whichever you prefer, square or left foot forward. And then I'm gonna get you to hit the ball. The only thing I changed about your arm guard is this. I'd have it like a little bit more flat, if that makes sense, so you don't blind yourself.
Oh,
The second you have it curved like this and you have to pair it up, you'll blind yourself. But if you have it on the side like that, and just like nice and relaxed, it should be like kind of like in the middle. It can be high like this too. Some people fight with a high card, or like this, but tight to your body and relax. And then yeah, on an edge. The other thing is I'm going to try to get you, you don't always have to do this, but I'm going to try to get you to lunge with your left foot. Just try it out. See how it like brings the shield into play?
Yeah.
The problem is sometimes if you, and you still can lunge with your right foot for sure. I do it all the time. Switch to right foot forward. Right foot forward too. As much as you can, try to keep your body square as you do that.
Right.
So even as you lunge right foot forward, instead of narrowing the shoulders like this, you're gonna want to kind of like you would in rapier and dagger.
Right.
It makes it not a nice lunge, like it makes your lunge kind of
Yeah.
turn forward, so it's not like a nice classical lunge. But
Good.
you're probably gonna have to go on your toe, and that's okay. Shoot up for a sec. How's the left arm feeling?
Yeah.
Not bad.
A little hefty.
Yeah. Alright. So we're gonna start with parries. Parry riposte. You're gonna parry with the shield. For right now. So it's gonna be here. So what would you do if, yeah, exactly. You're gonna kind of cover it. Long pop. Got the right there. Good. Next, if I attack directly into the shield, you do the same thing. So don't move. That happens sometimes. Here she goes.
Alright.
There you go. Pull it up. Good stuff. Alright, so the next one is low. What do you do if I... There you go. So, what I typically do is if you attack me on this side, is I just roll it down. I just drop it down. The bad part is you are vulnerable to feints if you do that, but it's actually really, really fast. And worst case, if I get screwed over, I can always parry with the sword afterwards. But you already know how to parry the sword, we don't have to go over it upside down. It's gonna be boom. that sometimes happens. So when people go low, they'll usually dive forward with the shield if they remember to, and then you'll have to hit them somewhere else. Good. Shake it up for a second. Next up is to protect that side of your face. So what we're going to do is, usually you use the sword. We're going to pretend though, like we're going to learn how to do it with a shield because you already know how to do it with a sword. We're going to pretend that your sword is dropped for whatever reason. Maybe you're in a low guard, or maybe you just missed. So that's the issue, is you completely blinded yourself.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is you have to duck a little bit, or bend the knees a little bit. You have to bring it over and above, almost like a St. George. So try that. Stop. There. And you have to find a way to still see me. Stop. Yes. Good. Stop. Yeah, and you're right. Bringing it forward a little bit does tend to help, right? Because of the cone of defense. You can make smaller motions and still compare it. There you go. Okay, so sword is dropped. I'm going to cut you on this side. Good, but don't blind yourself. And what you basically do, if you give me a cut there, is you almost make like a boxing parry, where you make contact and then come back. And you don't hold it unless you feel me pressing against it. But basically it should be, you go for it, like that. Do you see how that kind of stops it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reality might be different with a sharp, like it might bite in. If you feel like you have control of it, keep control of it. So, there you go. Stop. That's a good parry. Good stuff. Okay. And then the last one will be, or maybe not the last one, but the next one will be a cut number 4. So how would you parry a cut number 4? With the shield. Yeah. So how I usually do it, you go for it, just like that, punch forward.
Yeah.
And I'll parry up here. Really, other than that, there's just thrusts, which you parry the same thing as an inside, right? So it'd be like this. You can use your shield. Yeah, exactly. Shake it out for a second. Next one I'm going to do is I'm just going to feed you a random attack. We'll move a little bit. Okay. And lots of traversing in Targe, like kind of very old style. Little angles. Distance is important because it's really easy to, I think where people make the big mistake with it is you feel safer because you have 2 parrying devices, just like rapier and dagger, and people end up getting too close. But it's still primarily a distance game. I'm just going to throw an attack and you parry with the shield. yourself a little?
Yeah.
A little bit, hey? Let's try that again. Good. Do this. More forward.
Yeah.
There you go. Good. Shake it out for a second. So that's kind of the basics of it, of defense. And then the reality is that when we attack you, especially on your left side or your right side, you're mostly going to defend with the sword. So let's try that. The right side parries are really kind of like oh shit parries if you're out of position.
Yeah.
Most of the time if you're on guard, or in a decent guard, decent position, you're mostly going to parry with the sword on that side. Let's try it. Right? Because it's right there.
Yeah.
I go low, close, boom. Then I go under. If I do that, yeah, you can either sink the basket or do a Sagan parry. So it'll be like, ah, yeah, exactly. And hit. Yeah. Let's try using both now. Good, yeah. So for that one, for the inside one, you have three options for parries.
Yeah.
So you go for your thrust, you can do this, you go for your thrust, you can do this, or this. That one tends to be really good, is a circle parry.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So try a circle parry. Yeah, that one tends to be great. Because usually people will leave it too far out, and they won't feel like they're parried. Good. They'll walk right into it. One more. Oh, good. Very good. Alright, here we go. And I think you already have a sense, I don't think I have to go over it, but you have a sense of like where to hit me when I have a shield. So that's like, you hit them kind of in the yaps basically. So between the top of the head, underneath the flank is a good one, on either side, and legs are always a really good target. So we'll work on maybe a couple leg shots. When you do the leg shots, you can do them at the knee or thigh. I'd probably get you to do them today on the shin, just because that's where I'm most protected. But you basically cover yourself. So what I do is I try to find out where your sword is, if I can. So that's where your sword is, right? And I'll dive and kind of jam the sword as I do it. It's not a guaranteed thing, but it works pretty good most of the time. You kind of jam it towards their hilt, because then even if you kind of change angles or like go on, you know, like it's kind of jammed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so give that a shot. So, stick that shield out if you can. There you go. I'm gonna try to slip it a little bit and try to counter, but you get me anyway, okay? Yeah. So you just have to go deeper, and it's safe to. Switch legs. You're getting too predictable in your rhythm. You gotta play the game a little bit. Yeah, and jam up my sword if you can. Yes, that was great.
giving you breaks for your arm. The left arm gets tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing longsword left-handed the other day because what's her name? Shannon's left-handed.
Right.
I was like, oh my god, the shoulder is so much weaker.
Yeah.
Felt so weird.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it does feel weird. So then really what's left for what actually works with Targe most of the time would probably be like feints always work, redoubled attacks always work, and then grapples will work a lot of the time. So for feints, a lot of the time you want to set it up with the edge or the thrust. Like a typical one that you'd see in like Page would be one where they hit up, so you're on guard and they thrust up top like that, and you see how you get a little bit of a flinch?
Yeah.
So it'd be like, boom, bam. That would be a typical one. So high, low, high, inside, outside. But most of them tend to be high, low, and low, high for feints.
Yeah.
That's just so it works, because you got two weapons starting inside and out.
Gross.
Yes. But that's the difference, sorry to interrupt. That's the difference is that in Sword and Targe, you also feint the Targe. And it's actually better to feint the Targe because it's a little clunkier than the sword. Now go to the leg instead. That one's a sure thing. One more. Yeah, there you go. That's it. So very simple stuff, but like, you have to like physically get a real grasp on it.
Yeah.
So then the other ones that work really good are like low high then. So if you can draw my shield down or my sword down and then hit me on top of the head, that's a great one. Who knows, maybe I'll drop both.